You're standing on Earth, blue sky, air you can breathe without thinking, gravity that holds you gently to the ground. You take a breath. You don't earn that breath, you don't engineer it. It's just there. Now imagine stepping onto a rocket. The engines roar, the ground shakes, the sky turns black, the Earth becomes a marble behind you. And ahead? Mars. A small red dot. Here's the question I want to play with tonight. If you go there, are you really ever coming back? I don't mean legally. I don't mean emotionally. I don't even mean practically, although practically is a nightmare, and we'll get to that. I mean physically, energetically, cosmically. Because when we say come back, we assume something very simple. That space travel is like travel between cities. It is not. It is more like trying to climb out of a well, carrying the well with you. Let's start with the biggest thing we forget. Earth is heavy. You don't feel it because you grew up inside its gravity. But Earth is constantly pulling you downward. That pull is not small, it's powerful. It's what keeps the oceans from floating away. It's what keeps the air from drifting into space. To leave Earth, you have to fight that pull. Think about throwing a ball upward. You throw it, it slows down, it stops, it falls back. Now throw it harder. Same thing. Throw it harder still. Eventually, if you could throw it fast enough, much faster than any human arm could, you'd throw it so fast that Earth couldn't pull it back. That speed is enormous. It's not pretty fast. It's absurdly fast. And rockets don't just need to reach that speed once, they need to carry fuel to reach that speed. But the fuel itself is heavy, so they need more fuel to lift the fuel. And more fuel to lift that fuel. It's like trying to jump while carrying a backpack that contains more backpacks. So step 1, leaving Earth is already one of the most difficult things humanity has ever learned to do. Now step 2, going to Mars. Mars is not far in the everyday sense. It's not like flying to Australia. It's not even like going to the moon. The moon is a neighbor. Mars is a distant relative who lives on another continent and moves around the sun at a different speed. Earth and Mars are constantly moving. Sometimes they're on the same side of the sun. Sometimes they're on opposite sides. Sometimes the sun is between them. So you can't just aim and go. You have to time it. You have to wait for the geometry of the solar system to line up just right. Miss the window? You wait another 2 years. Already you can see this is not a casual commute. But let's say you make it. You spend months in deep space, floating, exposed to radiation, muscles shrinking, bones weakening because they're not used to gravity. Your body slowly forgetting what down means. You land on Mars. Red dust, thin air, a sky the color of rust. Now here's something important. Mars has gravity too, not as much as Earth, but enough to hold you down. Enough to make leaving it difficult. So if you want to come back, you must do something extraordinary. You must bring with you the ability to launch from another planet. Think about that. Every mission to the moon worked because the moon is close. 3 days away, if something went wrong, you could improvise. You could adapt. Mars is months away. If something breaks, you cannot call roadside assistance. You must land with everything you need to survive, and everything you need to leave. And here's where things start getting serious. To leave Mars, you need fuel. Lots of it. Fuel is heavy. Heavy things are hard to land safely. So you must either bring fuel from Earth, which makes the rocket even bigger, or manufacture fuel on Mars using local materials. Which means you must bring machines to manufacture fuel. Which means you must bring spare parts for the machines. Which means you must bring power systems to run the machines. And backups for the power systems. And backups for the backups. Do you see the pattern? Every problem multiplies. It's like packing for a camping trip, except if you forget a match, you freeze. Now imagine this scenario. You land on Mars with just enough supplies to survive. You set up habitats, you start producing fuel. Something fails. A seal cracks. A pump stops working. Dust infiltrates the system. There is no hardware store on Mars. There is no quick resupply mission. There is only you and the planet. So when I say anyone who goes to Mars will never come back, part of me means this very literally. The odds are merciless. Space is not hostile. That's too emotional a word. It is indifferent. Mars does not care if you live. Earth in a strange way does. Earth has air at the right pressure, the right temperature, liquid water, magnetic protection from radiation, a thick atmosphere that burns up meteors before they reach the ground. Mars has almost none of that. The air is thin, so thin that without a suit you would not suffocate slowly. You would lose consciousness quickly. Water cannot sit comfortably on the surface. It either freezes or evaporates. The radiation from the sun and deep space strikes the ground much more directly. So if you are living on Mars, you are living inside machines. Your home is not a house. It is a life support device. And here's the philosophical twist. On Earth, life is the default and death is the interruption. On Mars, death is the default and life is the interruption. That changes something fundamental in your psychology. Every breath becomes engineered. Every sip of water recycled. Every crop grown under artificial light. You are no longer part of an ecosystem. You are maintaining one artificially. Now let's talk about returning. To come back to Earth, you must do everything in reverse. Launch from Mars, travel months through deep space again, re-enter Earth's atmosphere at enormous speed, and land safely. That re-entry alone is one of the most violent events a human can survive. You are slamming into air at such speed that the air in front of you compresses and becomes fire. You are wrapped in plasma, and you trust a heat shield to hold. So when someone says, "We'll just go to Mars and come back," I smile, because just is doing a lot of work in that sentence. But let's go deeper. Suppose everything works. The fuel is made. The launch succeeds. The return trip is flawless. The re-entry is perfect. You land on Earth. Are you the same person? You've lived in lower gravity for years. Your muscles and bones have adapted. Your immune system has adapted to a sterile, controlled environment. Coming back to Earth's gravity might feel like wearing a weighted suit all the time. Your body may never fully readjust. You might survive the trip and still never truly come back. But let's go even deeper than biology. Think about the psychology of distance. When early explorers crossed oceans, they could see the same sky, breathe the same air, feel the same gravity. Mars is not another continent. It is another world. The sky is different. The color of sunsets is different. The horizon looks closer because the planet is smaller. Imagine raising a child there. What does home mean to that child? Is Earth home? A place they've never seen except as a bright star in the sky? Or is Mars home? The first generation born on Mars may not even be physically suited to return to Earth's stronger gravity. So perhaps the people who go there won't come back. Not because they can't, but because their children won't want to. And now we come to the most profound layer of all. When humanity first left Africa tens of thousands of years ago, many groups never came back. Not because they were trapped, but because they moved forward. When humans crossed the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas, they didn't sail back every season to check in. They adapted. They evolved. They became something slightly different. Mars might be like that, not a trip, but a divergence. Once you establish a permanent presence there, you are no longer just Earth's civilization. You are a multi-planet species, and branches of species don't usually remerge. They specialize. They separate. They become distinct. So, in a very real sense, the first true Marti and settlers will never come back. They will become Martians, not metaphorically, biologically, culturally, psychologically. And here is the quiet, almost unsettling thought. Maybe that's the point. Maybe exploration has never been about returning. We romanticize return journeys. The hero comes home. The traveler tells stories. But evolution doesn't work like that. Life spreads outward. Seeds don't fly out and then return to the tree. They land somewhere new and become new trees. When a dandelion releases its seeds, it is not planning for them to check back in. So perhaps when we send humans to Mars, we are not sending tourists. We are releasing seeds. Now, I want to be honest. Could we design a mission where people go to Mars and return? Yes. In principle, yes. Physics does not forbid it. Energy, time, risk, cost, those are the challenges. But physics itself allows the possibility. However, physics also teaches us humility. The distances are vast. The energies required are enormous. The margins for error are razor thin. Space does not forgive carelessness. And the longer you stay on Mars, the more rooted you become. So when you hear the bold claim, anyone who goes to Mars will never come back, don't take it as pure doom. Take it as a reminder. Leaving Earth is not like boarding a train. It is more like cutting an umbilical cord. Earth has been our cradle for billions of years. Its gravity shaped our bones. Its air shaped our lungs. Its oceans shaped our chemistry. We are not separate from Earth. We are an extension of it. So when we leave, we carry Earth inside us. And if we stay away long enough, we begin to change. Maybe the deeper truth is this: you never truly come back from any frontier. The first astronauts who saw Earth from space described something profound. They saw no borders, no countries, just a fragile blue sphere and blackness. When they returned, they were different. They came back physically, but their perspective had permanently shifted. So maybe the first humans who walk on Mars and stay will not come back in the way we imagine. Even if they step foot on Earth again, they will have seen something that cannot be unseen. They will have experienced isolation on a planetary scale. They will have lived on a world where survival depends entirely on human ingenuity. They will know, intimately, how thin the line is between life and vacuum. And that knowledge changes you. It makes you aware that Earth is not guaranteed. That air is precious. That oceans are miraculous. Perhaps the real reason anyone who goes to Mars will never come back is because no one ever comes back from a profound transformation unchanged. You can cross an ocean and return to the same shore, but you cannot cross a cosmic ocean and return to the same state of mind. And so we arrive at a strange conclusion. Mars is not just a destination. It is a question. Are we ready to become something more than earthbound creatures? Are we ready to accept that spreading into space means letting go of the idea of a single home? Are we prepared for the possibility that one day people born under a red sky will look at Earth and call it the old world? When that day comes, will we say they left, or will we say humanity grew? Because perhaps never coming back is not a tragedy. Perhaps it is evolution, and maybe the bravest explorers will understand this before they ever board the rocket. They will know that they are not just going somewhere. They are becoming something. And once you become something new, you never really go back to what you were. So the question isn't whether someone who goes to Mars will come back. The question is, what does back even mean when the universe itself is expanding, when planets are moving, when time never reverses? In a cosmos where everything flows forward, maybe there is no such thing as back, only forward, only the next horizon. And if one day a human stands on Mars, looks up at a tiny blue star in the sky, and whispers, "That's where we came from," that moment will mark the day humanity stopped being a single planet story. And once that happens, there is no coming back.